Hello and welcome to Uncensored Conservatism. This is episode 219. So we're going into week number 11 of Trump 2.0. So we're going to take a look back on week 10. And the big news for Democrats is that Cory Booker, some bald-headed senator from New Jersey, gave a 25-hour speech on the floor of the Senate railing against President Trump. To the left, he's a hero because he broke Strom Thurmond's previous record. By the way, speaking of Democrats, Thurmond was a proud one at the time when he opposed civil rights legislation. Yep, that's the Democrats for you. Projection. Meanwhile, an aide to Mr. Gun Control, Booker, was arrested for having a firearm in the Capitol while Booker was pontificating on the floor of the Senate, and you really cannot make this shit up. Anyway, anyone with a brain knows that this was just another audition by Spartacus for another presidential run in 2028 and another likely losing effort, although he is being lionized on the left. Of course, the bigger news is the tariffs imposed by Trump on basically the entire world. TikTok is in on it with suggested dance moves to protest these tariffs. Well, that ought to get the White House rethinking things. The left seems to have this preoccupation with dancing lately, and more to follow. So some of these tariffs are on a place called Heard and McDonald Islands, which has no people, no industry, and actually no products to export. But they do have a lot of penguins. And people are calling Trump a dipshit for this. But here's the thing. They are a part of Australia, so if you slap a tariff on Australia, you slap it on all of Australia. It's like a tariff on, the United Kingdom, and then also including the Isle of Man. And I really don't know where this whole tariff thing will lead. I know a lot of foreigners on X and Facebook are pissed off, so that might not be a bad thing. But here's the thing, I remember from my history books, tariffs were decided by Congress, but apparently somewhere along the line they handed that job off to the executive branch, so, whatever. Meanwhile, Governor Goofy of Minnesota remember when he was gleefully talking about Tesla's stock declining? Why, he even had that little app on his phone. Seems it's not so funny when the stock market goes down and 401ks and such take a hit. But, Governor, your own state pensions fund invests in Tesla. Duh. And, of course, vandalism against Tesla cars continues. That is, when they're not burning them. And they're protesting outside dealerships, breaking into a mass of old, fat white people dancing to the electric slide like they're at a really bad wedding reception. And some people are being arrested because, Tesla has like 9 cameras on them. Not exactly the brightest people. It's kind of funny, but 2 short years ago, Teslas were all the rage to fight so-called climate change. Now those people who did their part to combat climate change and doled out $55,000 for a Tesla are under attack. So I guess it really wasn't about saving the earth. And face it, it's not the car, it's Elon Musk because of Doge and all that. Yeah. Well, anyway, Bernie and AOC are she of the sexy mom genes, are on their Fight the Oligarchy national tour, which will also feature Perry Farrell of Jane's Addiction and George Soros, to note that he's not one of them oligarchs. And some crazy nutcase leftist loon won a key seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court after Elon Musk weighed in for her opponent. Well, we'll just have to see where this Soros-backed hag goes on their court. I don't know about you people up in Wisconsin. You're almost as weird as Minnesota. Lawfare continues against the Trump administration and their actions, and as if they didn't anticipate that this was going to happen this time around, Trump is fighting back. And I've never heard of a court making personnel decisions for the executive branch, but that's where we're at right now, folks. So I had to look this up, but apparently there's this show on Netflix about some kid killing a girl, and he was inspired by online misogyny. So the Brits, being the ultimate pussies that they are going to further pussify their boys in school. And I'm sure we will have a surge in reported transgenders as a result. And it's never too early to think about 2028, since, there are a lot of weeks left in the Trump administration, and the Democrats can't seem to be in sync these days. You can always bring back this guy. I kind of remember him being upset that he was shoved aside in 2024. Although Gavin Newsom seems to have the inside track, as I see it right about now, as he will attempt the Californication of the United States, and good God, we're in some deep shit if that happens. The progressive left, they just can't seem to get any traction on anything right about now. Maybe little Timmy Waltz will run. We've never had a president who once drank horse semen, so that would be a first. Does anyone miss her cackles yet? Yeah, I didn't think so. She probably has a state to fuck up more than Gavin Newsom has already. Then there is an up-and-comer like AOC, or maybe even not Jasmine Crockett. There she is doing a Nazi salute. Here you go. How about this guy? Maybe the Democrats will finally get what they consider a woman to become president, but I think that would be cheating. And here's a perfect running mate for that freak on the right. Good goddamn. These are ugly men who manage to make even uglier women. And finally, this young conservative wants you to protect your God-given Second Amendment rights. As does this little young lady. And that's your Second Amendment news for the week. And a little dose of misogyny also. And that's it. Have a great day. A more pleasant tomorrow. See you next time.